Hi, everyone. I'm Elisa Camahort Page, co-founder of Optionality, and I'm here with my other co-founder, Joy Desjardins.
Hi, everyone.
And we're here today to tell you a little bit about a new program we're launching at the beginning of 2026, what it is and why we wanted to do it and where you can learn more. And I want to start by saying that we have had this idea for a little while based on everything that's been going on in the optionality community all year. And we've had this idea, but we haven't had a name. And sometimes naming is like the hardest thing or the last thing you do. But Jory published her newsletter, and in the middle of December that we don't read each other's newsletters ahead of time. Sometimes we say, here's what we're noodling on, here's what we're thinking about. So when I read Jory's newsletter as a community member, I'm reading it like everybody else for the first time in all its full glory. And it just created an aha moment where we think we have the name. And so Jory, I would love if you talk about what this newsletter was that you wrote about restoration, why it resonated with you, and what restoration means to you.
Sure. Well, it dawned on me that it was the end of the year. And typically at the end of the year, we do wrap ups. We try to process everything, and then we sort of dredge up some excitement about the new year. And I wasn't feeling it. I was
Mm.
not feeling it. I felt like we had been through the ringer, that many in our community have been through the ringer. We've had layoffs, we've had disruptions, we've had a lot of things around us that have made us just go WTF. And we don't feel like, okay, let's just pretend that this didn't happen and let's go fix ourselves for next year, which is how I tend to feel around New Year's resolutions, right? Like, let's just start over. And we've done a lot of work on resolutions, why they don't work for the most part, new approaches to resolutions. And I was reviewing a lot of the work that we were doing at Optionality, the pieces that had been published recently, the ones that really resonated, and they were all around this theme of restoration and listening to the body and addressing what's really going on with yourself before moving on
Mm.
and slaying dragons, which is the last thing I've been wanting to do.
Mhm.
So that was what inspired the piece. And I think that thinking lends itself to what we're building, which wasn't like, here, everybody, drop everything. We're now going to start a new life starting in January. But we
Well,
are going to process what happened in 25 and move forward into 26 with that.
yeah, for sure. And I think there's a value in first of all, I think there's a value in reviewing what happened, uh, but also to do it in somewhat of an objective. Don't call anything like good, bad, or indifferent yet. Just like what actually happened. And now you're going to put it in buckets and you're going to start to think about maybe not good or bad, but like, what did I love? What lit me up? And what drained me? And we've been talking to experts all year long, people like Claire Wasserman and others who really want you to look at sort of, and you bring up somatic, like how things feel in our body. We've talked to somatic experts, like how do things feel? Like what makes you feel excited? What makes you feel like, ugh, I got to go do that. And like respecting that that's a signal. Your body is
Yeah.
sending you a signal, right? So any review is about kind of first trying to be objective and just say what happened. But then what do you do? And when it comes to restoration, I actually think it might mean very different things to different people. Like your piece was about restoring your sense of mental well-being and your sense of value and your sense. I think there's a sense of restoring mission,
Yeah.
restoring feeling like you have a purpose. But I think when I think about it for me and for a lot of other people we've talked to, I would love to restore a sense of clarity and confidence. Just that I know what I want and I know how to go get it. Because if you don't have that first part, it's really hard to do the second part, right? So I think restoration is a great word that people can apply to whatever it is they feel is their gap right now, right? Like, how do I restore so that I fill that gap that's between me and maybe being lit up more often, you know?
Here, here. I love clarity is a great word. We have not had clarity in so many ways this year. And I think being able to define that for ourselves, there's a
Mm.
lot of approximations, but it's really hard to nail it for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing about the beauty of an optionality driven life is that you are deciding how to divide up your life, your portfolio life, as Christina Wallace, one of our advisors, would call it. And that includes your what are things you might want to do personally that are nothing to do with your profession? You know, what are things that you want to, like, how do you want to fill that life in a way that really feels like it hits all the notes you want to hit and is right for the season you're in right now? And that can change, right? So there's this idea of like, well, first, kind of what did happen? Uh, and I think the harder question is, what do you want to happen? I say that all the time. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like I could go get anything if I knew what I wanted to get, you know, like, but my problem is more like I want too many things, you know, like I don't necessarily narrow it down very well. And I actually did, one of our premium members, Jeannie Grotto, did this little exercise around communications planning. And she had this narrowing exercise, which was really also very enlightening for me about, oh, I am trying to do too much all the time in too many places. And like, I just act like it's nothing, you know, and it's not really respecting my own energy to do that and how much of it, what my capacity is, what my energy is for. So,
That's right.
you know, so I think there's that.
Well, and then the second thing is even if you know what you want, it's really hard to do this by yourself.
Right.
For one thing, we don't have perspective. I think that if there's anything, I'm a great editor. I'm not the best author of my life.
Huh.
I can edit other people's takes on it, but not always just go for it without any. I need the perspective. I need someone to say, "Hey, I noticed you didn't do that when you said you would," or "Hey, is everything okay? Because I'm noticing something that I may not be noticing." So it's super critical. And I think that's been a real strength of ours with optionality is having the ability to have a working group, sort of your kitchen
Yeah.
cabinet helping you along the way, which is super critical. Step number two.
Yeah. And also the people can turn you. I just found that people turn me on to how they actually do things, get things done. It's connecting to the right people who will connect you to other great people. You know, we all need people to buy in to whatever we're doing for us to really succeed. But the second thing is people know how to do things in a smart way that I never thought of. So there are tools I use today that I wouldn't be using if it wasn't for someone recommending them. There are processes, systems, technologies, all sorts of things that can make things, you know, easier and more efficient, better quality, whatever it is, you know, can help you. So I feel like being expansive and who you're talking to about what's going on doesn't just give you their perspective. They can share how they do things, how they get things done, what happens when the rubber meets the road. Because, you know, I have gone to many, many, many things like this before, but a lot of times it really stops at the concept phase, the ideas phase, and I walk out of there with great ideas. But that doesn't always help me actually make those ideas happen. And so I feel like that's a really important
Here,
part.
here.
Yeah. So this is, oh, so did I even say that because of your post about restoration and because we want to help people create a roadmap with milestones for really taking their what happened into their ideas about what they want to happen and into how to make it happen, we decided to call it Roadmap to Restoration. And what restoration means can mean different things for different people. But that's where we were going with it when we started out.
Bury the lead. Sorry.
Yeah, which is why the concept of restoration is so important. So we're going to share the link to where you can go to learn more about this. We hope you will try it out with us and try this start out 2026 with a roadmap to restoration, whether that's of your purpose, of your clarity, your confidence, your plan of where you want to go in the next year, and that it won't just be ideas, but you're going to put some pen to paper. You're going to figure out some clear next steps and walk away with something where you've already taken action, and there's more for you to do after it's done. If you're still with us, thank you. And if you've gotten this far, we wanted to say, hey, you don't need to take our word for it on the value of these working groups and sprints that we do. We actually got a couple of our longtime members who've been with Optionality since the beginning, Joanna Bloor and Melissa Ford, to share a few words about why they participated, why they found it useful, what they got out of it. So take a listen.
So why do I show up and come to some of the working groups at Optionality? Well, there's the obvious reason. I am a solopreneur, for lack of a better term. And while I certainly talk to people all day, every day, the access to people who are just thinking with you and aren't either working for you or you're working for them is limited. And before, it used to be coffees and one-on-ones, and this allows me to do this, quite frankly, a little bit more at scale.
I really enjoyed being part of the intentional CRM group. And for me, I thought it was really helpful to have a group that I was accountable to and that who I was meeting with every week. And I knew I was going to have to say what I had done between the two meetings. My network even grew because of the group, because all the great people who were in the group got added to my network as well.
Come visit optionality.life and learn more.